questions just recently about using supermarket or greengrocer bought bunches of flowers and how you can actually create something really cool with those flowers. Controversial opinion, I actually have no issue with buying flowers from the supermarket or your greengrocer, fruit veggie shop, that sort of thing. I think as long as they're fresh, they're good quality, what's the big deal? It's a different market for flowers. Like, it's a different type of person that's going to buy store-bought flowers over someone that's going to walk into your florist shop. So, don't get too caught up in that whole supermarket flower thing. A lot of people, like I did yesterday, might walk into the supermarket and find a beautiful bunch of flowers and just want to do something with it. It's a different purpose than if you were to require flowers for, grandma's birthday. So, don't get too caught up with it. If you see something beautiful, and as I said, if they're fresh and, they look amazing, then by all means, pick them up and you can create a little masterpiece, just like I'm going to with this one. So, down here is the mixed bunch that I got from my local IGA yesterday. You can see it's got lots of really cool, pretty little flowers in there. Lots of roses, some zinnias, this really nice blue misty. Yeah, I think we'll be able to create something really pretty with that. I've also collected a few interesting items from my garden. So all of these, apart from the hibiscus, are native to my area. So I'll walk you through those as I pop them in. But yeah, to add a little bit of wow, make it look a little bit more special, it's always nice to add some bits and bobs in. And I am a huge believer in lots and lots of foliage. I think foliage adds a beautiful softness to your designs, and it's really important to add that into any of your supermarket bunches that you buy, because typically they are 100% flowers and they don't have a lot of foliage. You need that foliage to create the little spaces within the design, little areas of interest, and sometimes that soft, whimsical sort of look, which I love. So, any vessel will work. I've got this simple little ceramic that I use a lot. I have just popped in there a chicken wire base. We're going foam free for this one. I will have another video up soon to show you some alternative mechanics for bases for arrangements, so keep an eye out for that. But for today, we're going to use this very simple chicken wire base. It's all secured in there, it's not going anywhere. First things first is to get a bit of an idea of the shape that I want using some foliage. So I'm going to grab that foliage that I collected from the garden. This is a sort of fun little tea tree. I love the sort of whimsical look that it creates. I'm just going to pop a couple of little pieces in to help me with my shape. As I said, a lot of the times with your supermarket bunches that you get, they don't have any foliage, so it would be important, if you can, to go find a nice little collection of foliage, whether it's from the garden, local park, side of the road, whatever takes your fancy. When you're creating your overall shape that you want to fill with the design, just make sure you've got enough flowers to actually fill that. Don't go too big if you've only got a really tiny bunch of flowers there. And obviously don't go too small if you've got a big bunch. Okay, that off there. So that's the tea tree in. So it's just sort of loose, giving me a nice little loose shape. I will pop in now. Actually, don't know what this is called, but it's a little native that grows on the property. It actually has this really cute sort of starry shaped leaf, and it's a lovely glossy green. It's a little bit spiky, but I quite like using it. So put a few bits of that in. really depends on what you like. I like to play with sort of more opened shape rather than having it too tight and compact, but if you want to go tight and compact, that is fine too. See? Nice little bit of foliage. Right, let's get into that bunch that I got from the idea. There we go. First thing first is unwrap it. I did take the cello off it last night, but go take it out of the plastic so you can just see it's in a little plastic dish. And if I can get that to sit there, that would be great. Right, first things first, let's try and do one type of flower at a time, because this is a mixed bunch. It's got lots of different flowers in there. So we might go with these beautiful zinnias first. Typically you want to put the larger flowers towards the center of the design, and maybe the smaller ones or the line flowers that don't look as heavy towards the outside. But have fun, experiment a little bit, try and, if you can, maybe put like flowers together. So I've got like those 1, 2, 3 zinnias. I only have 3 zinnias in this bunch, so I'm going to try and make that work. What else do I have? I have 1 red rose. So what I might do, this is going to be a design that I put on my table. It's going to be viewed all around. I might pop this beautiful red rose. How about we open it up a little bit more too? I think it'll do a little bit of a reflex. Look at that. I'm going to pop it on the opposite side to the zinnia. Different flower, but it's got a sort of darker colour to the rest of the flowers, so I think that will work quite well. See, I've just popped that there. Again, it's a darker colour. So like I said, with this one, it's a bigger flower, so it goes at the bottom. Typically, you put your darker colours closer to the centre of the design as well, because they have more visual impact. Okay, so that 1 red rose is in. I have now some lovely pink roses. They smell beautiful too. So just clean them up. Any petals that are deformed or a bit tatty, because obviously sometimes your flowers are transported a little way, so you could have issues with them getting a bit tatty. Again, just opening it up a little bit and just pop that over here so that it helps with my transition. So now here I've got 1, 2, 3 on that side. Go. Now again, going to go through, see what else I've got. I've got another pinkish single rose as well. You just see I'm going through and putting one type of product in at a time, or one colour at a time. Because these mixed bunches, there's lots of different colours and types of flowers. Oh, smells amazing. I think I'll put it over this side. There we go. You can just see I'm just working all the way around. Okay. Petals. Next up. Ooh, do want to put these in before it gets too full as well. So these are a couple of hibiscus that I've had flowering in the garden. So they are a really big flower. They need to go down really low as well. So I need to put them in now and not leave them until too late, because there won't be any room. Typically a hibiscus as a cut flower is not going to last a long time. But I've got so many on the plant at the moment and they are just amazing. I thought we would pop it in and just sort of see how it goes. I'll just move that zinnia over now. Really should have started with these hibiscus. So there we go. Sit there. Look at that. So beautiful and full. If you don't have any flowers in your garden, obviously just use the ones that are in the bunch. But hey, if you do, chuck them in. If they're the right sort of tone to go. Look at that. Okay, now back to those white roses. Pop them in now. There is 1, 2, 3 of them, which is great. 1, 2, 3. So again, just going to check them, tidy them up. All flowers need a little tidy up before we put them in our beautiful designs. Again, I'm going to put the smaller buds or the smaller flowers closer to the top, and the larger ones are going to go lower down the design. They smell nice too. And maybe one over this side. I make sure that I get that transition of colour all the way through. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, now I have lots and lots of spray roses to pop in. One yellow. So I might pop him somewhere where he's really going to stand out. Over here looks good. Spray roses can be quite tricky. So you can see how they've got all of those multiple stems. So just making sure when you put it through the chicken wire that you've got enough clean stem to get it through. You don't want to be trying to push this through because you'll break that. If you do, it's probably better off snipping him off and using that one flower by itself. I'm going to try get all mine through and just pop it on this one side. Ooh, lovely. Oh, the yellow works amazing with that corally coloured zinnia. Love it. All right, now I've got a couple of pink. Oh, look at that one. Actually, that's like a lavendery colour. It's quite a dense one. So what I'm going to do is snip off some of, if I can do that without, there we go, some of these stems, just so I can use it a little bit more easily. Again, it's quite a big stem of flowers. So I need to make sure I've got a beautiful big space for it to really stand out. There. And then I've got a couple left. Okay, let's do that. Putting that over here. Oops, just broke that. If you do break any little flowers off, don't stress too much because I've got a little idea for that as well. Okay, look at that. Stunning. Okay, last flower. Darker pink spray rose, and again it's got lots of quite long single stems. So actually, before I put that in, let's pop in these last couple of lavenders that I snipped off. Quite short stems, so they're going to have to go lower down in the design to make sure they get water, because it's not floral foam. Any stem that goes in has to obviously make it into the vase to get water. We're going to pop in this last stem. Again, I'm going to chop off any of these really long pieces. Break quite a bit. And you see now I've got really one lovely, really long stem, which I can let dance a little higher than some of the others. How about we see if we can go there? Now this one has quite a few spots, so you do that a good clean up. Again, got a shorter stem, I'm going to go lower down the design so that I know that it's going to be in the water. Keep turning the design so you can find the gaps. As I said, it's an all-round design. We want it to be beautiful on everything. Mark these petals as well. Okay, so now I have some of this quite thick misty. Some of it's damage, so we'll get rid of that. Pieces that are not really nice. Again, cut it back down. If you put that whole piece in, it could be just too full and it can make the design look a little bit heavy. Things like Misty or Baby's Breath, Gypsophilia, you want to put little pieces in. so that it gives it a lightness, adds that whimsical sort of feel. You see, I've just popped that in there, just a couple of nice little pieces. Face. Misty is really great for popping in any little gaps, sort of like your finishing touches. Again with this one, cut it right. Turning it so that you can make sure that all that misty's all the way through the design. It's just in one spot. Let's see it everywhere. Okay, so this really big piece, which I think will be amazing, right there. Do still have, if you remember, some of these really cool pods from the lavandra grass, which is actually a native. And again, just for a little bit more interest, I'm going to pop them in sort of up the top there. Got a few, so I can pop a few on either side. Be very careful when you're putting line flowers in that you don't end up that you're creating little ears in your design, you know, little bunny ears. Try and pop them in so that they sort of feel natural and not like these really pointy TV antennas or bunny ears. So that. And you see how we've changed it into a really sort of wild and romantic masterpiece, rather than just, you know, that massive flowers that it was in the bunch. So that's pretty much it. I really like that, and I think it's going to look amazing on my table for the next few days. So there you go, a quick little video to show you how to turn your, you know, inexpensive grocery flowers, grocery shop bought flowers, into a beautiful arrangement. So yeah, stay tuned. Keep an eye on our YouTube for updates. My plan for 2024 is to put a lot more video content out there with lots of tips, tricks and tutorials on how to do some amazing forestry. So keep an eye out, and until next time, see you then.